Let me transition to the next story that I wanted to get into, because there was a terrific Monday Night Football game that took place last night in Kansas City, Missouri. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs held a Super Bowl 57 rematch on Monday Night Football. The Eagles came out victorious 21-17. The Eagles now have the best record in football at 9-1, but here's the deal. Let me remind y'all that as impressed as I am with the Philadelphia Eagles, as impressed as I am with Jalen Hurts, playing hurt because that knee is still gimpy. It's not right, even though he ran and scampered for a touchdown last night. Okay, look at the weapons that they have. A.J. Brown, just one reception for 8 yards, but they still won the game. Devontae Smith, his sidekick, came up with 2 big-time catches. You didn't have your tight end, Dallas Goedert, who can ball, okay? Running the football, DeAndre Swift did his thing. We get all of that, and defensively, they were certainly applying pressure to Patrick Mahomes. But here's what you need to know. If Travis Kelce doesn't get the ball punched out of his arm and turning the ball over in the red zone, that's at least 3 points for the Kansas City Chiefs. If Marquez Valdes-Scantling doesn't drop a beautiful 51-yard bomb in his hands, okay, that's a touchdown with about 1:42 left. And the Eagles would have needed a touchdown in order to win the football game. Let me tell you something right now. You can slice it any way you want to. Any way you want to. The real problem is that the Eagles were a bit lucky last night, and luck comes with it. We get all of that. But the Kansas City Chiefs, here's the problem. 26 dropped passes this year. You kind of need to think about the fact whether you should have let go of Tyreek Hill after all, huh? Damn it, should you let go of Juju Smith-Schuster? He was there last year. The reality is that you don't have the weapons at the wideout spot. You don't have brothers that you can trust. Kadarius Toney, you can't trust him. He could play, but you don't know how iffy he gets because he's sporadic at best. Don't get me started with Valdes-Scantling when my man Shannon Sharp, Club Shay Shay, was educating our viewers this morning on national television, talking about how he's a body catcher. He catches the ball with his body as opposed to his hands. Well, damn, what are you, an alligator? Your job as a wide receiver is to use your hands and your arms to catch the football. 26 dropped passes by Kansas City Chiefs wide receivers this season. That ain't going to win you a Super Bowl. It ain't going to even get you out of the AFC. Baltimore was probably better. Cincinnati, if Joe Burrow wasn't out, he would have been better. Miami, it's nothing to sneeze at. Buffalo can't be summarily dismissed. Neither can Jacksonville, even though they got bum rushed by the San Francisco 49ers a couple of weeks ago. You can't summarily dismiss them. The Houston Texans, with C.J. Stroud, can't summarily dismiss them. Things are interesting in the AFC, no doubt. But what's of profound interest is that if Patrick Mahomes had somebody who could catch the damn ball, we wouldn't be having this discussion. And that makes me look at the Chiefs as an organization, not just for letting Tyreek Hill go a couple of years ago, because they did win the Super Bowl last year, but by making sure you didn't offset his loss by getting quality receivers in play. DeAndre Hopkins was looking to go there or somewhere else. You look at the bevy of receivers that have been out there, somebody get him some help. It's Patrick Mahomes. You got to do something. You can't just leave him hanging like that. But that's what they do in the National Football League from time to time, particularly when you're Patrick Mahomes and you've been in an AFC Championship game. Every season that you've been a starting quarterback, every single one of those games have been at home. You haven't even had to go on the road. You went to 3 Super Bowls. You captured 2 Super Bowl titles. So you can take stuff for granted. And that's the bigger lesson to learn here, how greatness is taken for granted. Usually you have greatness, and what you want to do is supplement it to make sure you can prolong that level of greatness for as long as you possibly can get away with it. But that's not how people seem to think in the world of professional sports. I got greatness, let me abuse it by putting a boatload of responsibilities on their shoulders that will ultimately force them to succumb to too much weight on their shoulders. Maybe that's what Kansas City is doing to Patrick Mahomes. Maybe they made a mistake in that regard.